Hey, this is Anney.
And Samantha.
And welcome to Stuff I've Never Told You, a production of iHeartRadio.
And in honor of the Olympics and our upcoming Olympics episode, yes, it's happening, y'all, we are going to talk about the first woman to be elected as the vice president of the IOC. Again, this is going to be an upcoming episode, like really soon. But I thought it'd be interesting to talk about one specific person. Today is July 30th, 2024. You know, we need to put some timestamps on it because everybody's going to be like, why didn't you talk about this person? Or why didn't you talk about this? Because we didn't know, because things are still happening, y'all. And yeah, the 2024 Olympics is underway, and there's some record-breaking things already happening and a lot of controversy, you know, cardboard beds, vegan diets, a rapist that's allowed to compete while other people who have barely, like, I don't know, went to meet their boyfriend out in Paris, she got kicked out, but the rapist could, you know, join. But that's a different conversation. I'm not bitter. Anyway, Anney, have you been watching any of the Olympics? I know you and your friend group who just went to your traditional summer vacay, having your own Olympics typically. Just got back. So I imagine y'all have been watching, or at least been really excited for the upcoming Olympics.
We have been watching the Olympics, and this is not a sponsor at all. I want to make this 100% clear.
We're not Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg. We wanted more Snoop, but we couldn't get it on because, you know, beach houses are usually a little tricky within what signals can get out there and whatever. But yeah. I have Peacock because of our the horror nights we did in Universal. It came with a free 6-month Peacock trial. And I already had a free 6-month Peacock trial from the last time I went. So I have like a year of Peacock. So I felt really good because we were able to watch the Olympics because of my free trial.
I didn't think I knew that. I haven't used that then. I need to use this.
Oh my gosh, I sent it to you. I forwarded it to you because I was like, yes.
You probably didn't. I just was like, we're going to haunted houses. Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it has come in great handy for watching it. I will say the opening ceremony, we were shocked. There was a lot of twists and turns. There was heavy metal bands. There were minions. I was not expecting a lot of it. Which is funny because right before I was like, oh, usually I feel like the opening ceremony is very boring. And I left feeling like I'd gone through an experience. Yes, we did. And we watched a lot of the swimming and gymnastics and diving primarily is what we did. But yeah, we had fun. It was a nice, like, put it on and we get to like kind of talk to each other and joke with each other. And yeah.
Did you have your own competitions?
We did it the previous time we went, which was a month ago. This time we had like joke ones, which were like who can puzzle the fastest, because we did do a puzzle.
Nice.
It was much more like silly, who can do this thing, and we were joking about what it would look like if we tried to do what they were doing and how fun that could be to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, they're coming out with new competitions every year.
Yes.
So you never know. I am still like excited about the breaking, which is the break dance.
Yes.
And there was a couple of conversations of like, this is not breaking. Please remember this came out of like LA and New York, and it's not Dutch dancing. I will say I have not seen it all. Please don't get mad at me. I'm excited to see what it has. Apparently, like China just came in real full throttle, as well as Japan. So I'm really excited to see that. Our own people, really cool to see. But yeah, some of the things that I've been seeing that's kind of been like quickly turning into a meme or a GIF, I guess, because they're like, what is this? But, you know, we love stuff like this. We love seeing amazing new competitions. Puzzling, why not? Why not? I still love that people are talking about the water polo and the U.S. women's water polo team. And they're like, oh, the level of athleticism, the women's rugby team. Oh, yeah. We've seen a lot of things coming out. So I'm really excited to talk about it. But today we're talking about one specific person. And we're going to jump in. We're talking former Olympian and vice president of the IOC, Anita DeFrantz. And Anita DeFrantz was a part of the American rowing team, and she actually won a bronze medal in 1976. And she made the team again in 1980. However, due to the U.S. boycotting the games that year, a lot of stuff with the Cold War and such, she was unable to compete. However, she was one of the athletes that received a congressional gold medal. And it was in 1986, DeFrantz was appointed as a member of the IOC, which, by the way, it was only in 1981 that the IOC allowed for women to be members at all. And at that time, it was only 2 women who were appointed. And we'll talk a little more about this in the upcoming episode that I keep talking about, because, obviously I'm really, really in depth with the history of the Olympics. We do this every year. We got to get into the history a little bit. But if you want to do some additional math, which that's not a part of the Olympics, maybe it should be, it only took almost a century before the organization appointed any women as a member of the IOC, which started in 1894. So only 90 years later.
I will say this was an interesting part of the opening ceremony as well, because in our book, we had a whole chapter about the Olympics.
Yeah.
Well, it was about athletics, but the Olympics was a big part of it. And we talked about the history of the women trying to get in the Olympics and have their own Olympics. And Coubertin, who's this big French guy who's big and not letting women in. And they kept bringing him up in the opening ceremony. I was like, it's that guy. I know about this guy.
He's not cool. He's not cool. Nobody likes him. Just kidding.
Because it's, in Paris this year. Also, there was a really cool but creepy horse that...
Yeah.
It's like a horror movie.
There was a whole conversation about... Because it was supposed to represent a woman on a horse, right?
Yes. It's a woman.
About what this was, and the people were either confused or really impressed. They were like,
she was coming to kill me.
This art is amazing. And the other people were like, what is happening? Also the same thing with the whole opening scene with the table, and everybody's like, that's the Last Supper. And everybody's like, no, it's not. It's the diet. Okay. Never really.
Yes. It was a wild ride, everyone.
So much controversy.
Here we go. Let's get back to DeFrantz. Here's a bit of information on her on Women's Girls Initiative. Quote, before she joined the ranks of the IOC, DeFrantz captained the U.S. women's rowing team and rowed in the 8 that won a bronze medal at the 1976 Montreal Olympic Games. DeFrantz served as vice president of the 1984 Los Angeles Olympic Organizing Committee and was elected to IOC membership in 1986, making her not only the first African-American, but also the first American woman to serve on the committee.
Right. And unsurprisingly, sports and competing has been a part of most of her life. She actually started out as a college basketball student, playing in basketball, but soon discovered rowing after running into the rowing coach on campus. And he persuaded her to give it a shot. It was literally, come tomorrow. Just see if you like it. And she was like, okay. And here's a little bit from the ncaa.org. Although she eventually competed at the highest level, DeFrantz did not find immediate success with rowing. During the second semester of her senior year, she got demoted to the junior varsity team. Her coach, however, encouraged her, telling her hard work would allow her to make the Olympic team. Upon graduating from Connecticut College in 1974, DeFrantz pursued law school at Pennsylvania while training to make the Olympic team with the Vesper Boat Club. The hard work paid off as DeFrantz made the national team in 1975 and competed at the 1976 Montreal Olympic Games, again where she won a bronze medal. When the United States boycotted the 1980 Moscow Olympic Games, DeFrantz took a stand and advocated for the rights of athletes to make their own decisions regarding competition. Although her lawsuit regarding this cause was unsuccessful, the International Olympic Committee awarded her the Bronze Medal of the Olympic Order for her inspirational efforts.
And within the ncaa.org article, they talked about her works within the IOC and the Olympics. Quote, DeFrantz's advocacy work did not end when her rowing career did. In fact, her service to the athletic community had just begun. Over the years, she has remained a committed advocate for athletes all over the world and has specifically been a pioneer in the expansion of opportunities for females. DeFrantz has led by example, as her election to the IOC membership in 1986 made her the first African American and first American woman to serve on the committee. When I arrived at the IOC as a member, I was the 5th woman elected in a room of about 100, she said, and I thought, this is not the way the world works. We need to change this. From 1989 to 94, DeFrantz served on the IOC's Program Commission, which is responsible for proposing sports to be included in Olympic competition. She played a key role in increasing opportunities for women's competition in the Olympic program and is credited with getting women's softball and soccer accepted to the program.
Those are some huge competitions. Could you imagine?
Soccer?
Yeah, I know, right? The fact that she had to be a part of that and be like, hey, we got something here. She did a lot. She did a lot for the U.S. as well and within LA, especially when it comes to getting competitors and opening doors for more athletes. She's done some amazing things. And during all this, she's been a remarkable force within the sporting community. And as in fact, she has served 2 terms as IOC vice president. Her first term was 1997 through 2001. And then her second term went from 2017 to 2021. Again, she was the first woman to be appointed vice president, so anywhere on the executive board. And she has earned many awards and accolades, including the LA Coliseum Court of Honor, the Olympic Truce Award, and this year she was NCAA's President Gerald R. Ford Award winner. And when she received that award, she said, I want to make sure that once I've opened doors, there will be people to come through them and enjoy it afterwards. That has been a key to how I review things and work towards things. And obviously, she's still working towards that and making sure that the door is wide open for as many competitors from all groups being a part of the Olympics.
Yeah. It's always strange to me looking back on the Olympics because it feels like such a bookmark of every 4 years usually, but recently that wasn't the case. But and you look back and I remember us talking about it then and how there were still these issues and still this push. And I saw during the opening ceremony, Paris was gender parity in the Olympics. And then there were a bunch of news articles that came out. It's still not so quite so yet, but yeah.
Yeah. As in fact, there's 6 countries that sent no women to compete.
So it's still very important. It's still a thing that we're talking about when these happen and are important. And we do love hearing from you listeners, especially people who have more experience or knowledge about sports, specific sports maybe, than we do.
Mm-hmm.
So please write in if you have any thoughts, if there's something we should be talking about, if there's someone we should be talking about. But yeah, we do have an Olympics episode coming up, possibly 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yes, if you would like to contact us, you can. Our email is stephanie@momstuff@iheartmedia.com. You can find us on Twitter at momstuffpodcast or on Instagram and TikTok at Stuff Never Told You. We're on YouTube. We're on TeePublic. We have a book where we do talk a lot about this that you can get wherever you get your books. Thanks as always to our super producer Christine, our executive producer Maya, and our contributor Joey.
Thank you.
And thanks to you for listening. Stuff I Never Told You is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, you can check out the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite show.